A golf instructor's job is never done. I've got to read up on the latest trends, trying to help our students learn. The books tell me I've got to have more snap load in my power pack with greater radial deviation. Who was that guy? What was that all about? I promise you, we're going to keep things a lot simpler. We're going to make your golf game get better. It's going to be easy to understand. Hi, I'm Brian Mogg with the Golf Channel's Instructor Search. And we've put together a 3-segment show to highlight 3 ways you can get better. So let's get started with our first segment. First segment we're going to talk about is one club. Each week we're going to bring one club on and talk about how to make it work more effectively for you. Today we're going to talk about the driver. We watch the pros every week on TV and it just looks so effortless. They smash the driver, they hit it long, they hit it straight, they're generally always in play. What can we learn from them? What can we do? Well, the first characteristic of a driver is understanding how it's designed. It's the longest club in your bag. Okay, it's the least lofted, 8 to 10 degrees aloft. It's also the flattest lie. Okay, it means the shaft sits the lowest, your hand's going to be a little lower. So how do we make a club with all those characteristics work for us? Well, the key is, because there's not much loft, we've got to hit up on the ball. We've got to be set up to the ball in a position here where we're backing underneath it just a little bit. If we're back behind it, we're in a position we can use everything for you. Everything's going to sweep up. If we can use that, that's our golf game and how we're going to hit the ball more consistently. What if we want more power? Okay, here's a couple tricks. Go ahead and turn the foot out a little bit and flare the right foot. That's going to increase our hip turn a little more. Allow your shirt button to go with it. Allow your torso to turn. Get your shirt button over your right leg. You want to release it a little more? Turn the front foot out a little more and let your hip rotation get all the way through the shot. What if you want more accuracy? Well, nothing says you can't just choke down a ½ inch or so. If you can do that, you'll increase hitting the ball straighter. Some guys have problems hooking and slicing. Let me show you one drill you can key on. Most golfers who slice always have a high right shoulder. So when you get your setup, make extra sure your right shoulder is set back and underneath. If you're the rare golfer that hooks too much, well, go the other way. Get your right side a little longer and taller so you can get the club a little more out in front of you on the ball. The driver is the most important club for establishing the tee shot. That's obviously a true statement. Let's move on to the next one and see what area game we can move on. We're going to take our game from the range out on the golf course. How many of you golfers out there have a great warm-up session, practice session, maybe practice during the week? You got a lot of anticipation for your round or for the upcoming weekend round, and some other person invades your body. Shots you hit don't look anything like they did during your practice session. It just doesn't seem like it's the same thing. Well, let's talk about how we get our game off the range, where it's generally pretty good, onto the golf course and make sure it's the same thing. Make sure it's good in both places. There's a trick you can do to kind of parallel the two, and I like to borrow baseball as an analogy. Grab a second club, or at least imaginary-wise, have an imaginary line behind the ball a few feet. When you're practicing, and especially when you're playing, come back on this side of the line, on this side of the club. This is the on-deck circle. Much like a batter before he goes in and faces a tough pitcher, he's back there making some practice swings, trying to feel it out. Golf's the same way. Come up with your strategies. Work on your swing thoughts. Work on if you've got a mechanical feel. Work on what you're working on and really promote the thinking and the feeling coming together. When you got it, now it's time to cross the line, go into the batter's box here. So take a cleansing breath. That's your transition move. And once you've crossed over the line, keep moving, waggling. Get your target, commit to your target, and the same amount of time every time. Let it go. The golf swing should be the same now on each side of the ball. That's the trick to being more consistent. That's how you bridge the game from the range to the course. So enjoy that. Make it work. Let's go get on the putting green and do our final segment. As we move into our final segment, let's talk about putting, because it really comes down to your putt reflects what your score is going to be. It culminates in everything you've done and kind of validates you've done it right. So let's take a look at putting, and let's look specifically at our clutch putts. What do we got to do like the pro does on 18 when he knocks in the putt to win a major? What can we do when we have a club championship on the line, a few dollars on the line with our buddies? What things under pressure do we have to do a little bit better to knock in that final putt so our score shows it? Well, there's a couple things. We got a 10-foot downhill putt coming over a little ridge, very, very fast. Something on an 18th hole where it puts a lot of tension in your hands. It puts a lot of nerves in you. Big thing you want to focus on, a couple of keys. Boy, soften that grip pressure up. You got to really feel the head weight of the putter. You got to really feel soft with your arms so you've got the head weight in your hands. When you get set up, make sure that your left eye is just behind the ball. That way you can feel like you're looking down the line. You don't have to feel like you want to look up and see it. That's a big tendency under pressure. Then the last key is once you've made your stroke, really key in where you want the putter to finish up. How far down the line, and kind of aiming at the hole or aiming on your target line that you want. So when you key in on all those things, keeping the head still for a split second longer than normal, that's the key to making all the clutch putts you're ever going to want. A little drill you can do, because when it's all said and done and your hands are shaking a little bit, there is one more thing you can add to the mix. I've put a little coin here a few inches in front of the ball. If you get over this and you've got it lined up properly, if you roll it over that coin, you're going to make it. Soften your grip, keep your mind quiet, keep your head still, and just roll it right over the coin. So remember, it's all about getting better. We've covered today 3 segments. We talked about learning your equipment. Today was the driver and knowing all the characteristics about the driver so that you can hit more fairways, hit it longer, hit it straighter. We've talked about a routine where you take your game off the range onto the golf course, so it's the same. There's a seamless transition, so you're making the same swings, hitting the same quality shots, practicing better. And then we've concluded here with clutch putting, how to knock in those cool putts when you've got to win something that we really want to. So put all these together, enjoy the game, have fun, let's get better, let's knock strokes off, let's have a great golf season. We're here with the Golf Channel Instructor Search web tip. We're going to call it the Mogg Minute. We're going to talk about how to get out of trouble. Now the best tip of all is don't get here in the first place. But this is golf, sometimes you do. So we're over here in the edge of the woods, we got a whole bunch of garbage right in front of us. Somehow we've got to curve that ball way out to the right, all the way up to the green. The pin's even on the left side. We're going to have to really make this ball do a lot of curving, or we're still going to be in trouble. So what do? What are some simple things we can do? Well, the bottom line, the easy part is, you might not be able to see the flag, but it's deep on the left, well off this tree. Aim the club face where you want it to end up. So in this case, we want the ball to hook all the way to the flag. I'm going to aim the club face at the flag. Now, as I keep my club face there, I'm now going to aim my body where I want it to start. It's got to start way out to the right. So with my club face aiming at the hole, my feet, hips, shoulders, everything lined up well out to the right, I now am going to swing on my body line. Aim it at the flag with the club, swing on my body line. So when I do it, ball's got a pretty good hook right there, hooking onto the middle of the green. The key is align your club face at the target, align your body where you want it to start, and then just make a natural swing and you'll get the curvature you want.